What is going on, people? Welcome to an EP review to HP Boyz 6 to the World. Obviously an EP being shorter than an album, especially in albums nowadays, obviously climbing to 15 songs plus on average. So it was nice to be able to just listen to this 5 or 6 times over throughout the span of today and yesterday, and really just be able to just take it in the right way. Plus I've done a reaction to 2 of the tracks on this album already, so links to those will be down in the description. Now, coming into this EP, HP Boyz have obviously dropped singles that have just built a mass amount of attention in such a short space of time, and have kind of established this polytropical rap that they're bringing. For anyone who says that it's Aussie drill, HP Boyz do not make drill music. Can I just make that very clear? HP Boyz do not rap over fucking drill. Now that the public service announcement is over, you got the first track on this EP, which is Enemies, that, you know, follows that typical HP Boyz formula of normally some sort of string guitar melody and the trappy 808 drums in the back. From the minute this song opens up, you begin with an underdog story, kind of. This is for all the haters, this is for everyone who doubted us, which I feel like is a great way to start the project. If we're thinking long term in an artist's or an act's career, you know, this is their first project, and so when people in let's say 10 years time may come back to this EP like the first project that they put out, you know, this tells the start of their story effectively, and continue to go on to paint a picture of what their area is like, which is very important in the theme of this EP since it's 6 to the world. You know, they are literally saying we are putting our area on the map, and that's shown from the EP artwork itself. If you look at it, it looks like 3 lads literally on a different planet. Like, we are out of this world, obviously, if you're gonna talk your own shit, you know, we are out of this world, and we're looking back home, you know, and the earth where it's rotated around is focused on Australia. And so them talking about their area and where they grew up and where they currently live is massively important to this EP, and I'm glad that they bring that up in pretty much every single song. The only thing I'm gonna say about this track, I believe, is YJ who says "from back in hell." Brother, that doesn't make sense. It's hell and back, and I know that's like the saying that we're accustomed to, but just for the sake of the multi, man said back in hell, and it really bothered me. I don't know why, but just no. Otherwise, it's a great introduction to the EP. And we've got Out Here, full reaction in the description. I definitely prefer this song in the setting of the EP. It just sounds better. There's certain songs that definitely sound better when they have context around them, or when they are paired with other songs before and after. They just fit into an album or an EP, and it just makes so much more sense to me personally. There's other songs that don't belong in a project and should be a standout single. In my opinion, I understand why they picked this out as one of the singles to lead into the EP with, but I don't feel like it should have been, even though I understand why they did, and we'll touch on why they did later on in this review. But it is a great song to complement the EP, and I'm glad that it brings that variety and it brings something slightly different, but yet still fitting in with HP Boyz and their style. And so, and I said that in the reaction, you know, this is not like super far from what they originally do, but it is a step in a different direction, and I really appreciate that. We've got Get to the Bag, which brings it back down to that HP formula. It brings it back down to this is our bread and butter again. That guitar type melody, the 808s and trappy drums, and that style that we are accustomed to. There are shots fired at rival gangs all over this track, and specifically a certain 1-4 maybe. I don't know. Some people says it is, some people say it's not. I have just a small feeling it's at 1-4. And if it's not 1-4, it's definitely another rap group, because they literally say the lyric in this song, how can they rap what they rap about? Like, yeah, I think it's 1-4. You know, it's just talking that gang shit, talking about getting that money and talking gang shit. Got Eeny Meeny, which is another track that I was a little bit unsure of when I first heard it on its own, but again, in the setting of this EP, makes a lot more sense. It feels like it fits in. And so far, you've got Enemies, which is very traditional HP Boyz. You've got Out Here, which is a step in a new direction. They then bring it home with Get to the Bag, and then they take a step back out with Eeny Meeny. And so they keep swaying back and forth between this is what you know us for, and we are going to continue to develop on that, and this is us trying something a little bit different. And so with Out Here and Eeny Meeny being the two singles that they've led with before the release of the EP, it makes sense. It makes sense because this is them showing, look, we can do something different. This is our variety that we're adding to the catalog. Now, is it crazy different? No. It's barely a different genre, let alone subgenre. Now, is it crazy different? No, it's barely a different subgenre, let alone the genre of rap and hip-hop itself. But I still appreciate the fact that they're bringing just a slightly different flavor into this EP. As much as I love HP Boyz, if they brought me 6 tracks that were engineers, for me personally, I wouldn't want to hear that on an EP. I could hear 6 tracks like engineers, but I would have to hear them as singles. I couldn't hear them back to back on a project. And this is what I mean by certain tracks belong in a project and certain tracks belong as singles. Now, as I say that, Eeny Meeny feels like more of a single than Out Here does, despite me probably liking Out Here just a little bit more. And I think I like it more because Kazaya just brings a flavor that HP Boyz obviously can't, being the only collaboration on this project. But yeah, you've seen my reaction to Eeny Meeny. It's just shots fired everywhere, and yeah, it brings a slightly different flavor. But Block Party, which is again that Latina influence sound, the HP Boyz formula that we know. Something that I noticed HP Boyz have done, they've mentioned a few UK artists. They definitely know their UK stuff. I think there was an AJ Tracey reference in there. I wasn't too sure, but there was definitely a Bugsy Malone reference. I know on the last track, 6 to the World, there was a Fredo reference as well. So HP Boyz are aware of the UK market and scene. They also referenced the court case of a certain someone supposedly crying in court. I don't know what's true. I've had some people swear blind, but it did happen. I've had other people swear blind it didn't. We're not here for that. Keep it moving. I am going to acknowledge the fact that there obviously are shots. I just say keep it moving and I keep talking about it. Right, done now. But yeah, similar to Get to the Bag, just more gang shit. And then you got the last track of the album, the self-titled track, 6 to the World. And it's definitely the right track to end on, because I feel like HP Boyz are just showing what they're ultimately about, and they're just trying to eat a good food, catch a small vibe, and earn a little P. They're just trying to have a good time whilst doing the music thing, like, and ultimately that is the message that I want them to continue to push forward. Yeah, kind of just round off their message that, look, we're trying to put the area on the map, we're trying to make something of ourselves, and again, just have a good time while doing it. And so that kind of rounds things off real nice. An EP is perfect for HP Boyz in my opinion. I don't think I'd want to hear an album. They could have arguably made an album. Let's say if they took Blueprint, Engineers, Moves, and they took those tracks, put them on this, and then made maybe 1 or 2 newer songs just so we didn't already hear half the album before it released. I'm joining Lucas. So they could have arguably made an album with the controversy of obviously having half the songs already released. But with what they've given us here, I feel like it's the perfect amount for them. I feel like 6 tracks is the right amount. I don't feel like any song was a waste. I don't think I wanted to hear much more than this though at the same time. I think they said everything they needed to say at this point in their career, and from here I want them to obviously push with this EP. Obviously once all of this shit's over, I hope they can go on tour and, you know, kind of promote it more and do all of that, and then go back into singles and then kind of just keep pushing from there. I know there'll be some fans that would be happy to hear 20 tracks from HP Boyz, and I'd agree, but just at this point, are they ready for an album? I'm not too sure. And so I think making an EP was a good call. I feel like they've dropped it at a good time as well. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what they do next. Overall, this is a good EP. Like, it's a good to great EP. It's not perfect. And the reason I don't say it's perfect is because I still feel like it lacks absolute bangers on there. I don't feel like they are touching the same heights of Blueprint or Engineers on this EP. However, I do appreciate the fact that they've tried something slightly different whilst still keeping to their original formula. And that's why I think this is a, yeah, good to great EP. Either way, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Feel free to check out my music. Links are down in the description below. And yeah, I appreciate you, man, for watching. And I'll talk to you, man, later.